what was going through my mind was I felt at unease with myself. I felt as if there was an imbalance and I wasn't quite understanding of what was going on. I felt as if there was a presence in my atmosphere, but I didn't know how to express it. I didn't know how to be myself and accept it. And it put me in a state of almost misery, because when you don't know what you're dealing with, you don't understand if you're wrong or if that's wrong or anything in the mix that's happening. You're confused, you're worried, you're wondering, you almost feel alone, you feel desperate for answers, and you just want a complete picture of everything that's happening. And so I had gone to my barber and I told her, I said, I got these text messages, I got these calls, and someone is writing me. And she's trying to elaborate on my love life, on my energy, on an ability, on things that I just couldn't understand how she knew about me. And my stylist had said, I know a woman, you need to get in contact with her. And I said, who is she? How do I do it? I want to know now. And she sent me a screenshot of a Facebook picture. And I searched high and low through Facebook to find Miss Leslie. And I searched and searched and searched and couldn't come up with anything. And then the profile came up. So I clicked a link and it said leslieinc.com. And I was like, okay, there's a number. It's an 888 number. I'll never get through. So I made the phone call. I called once, no answer. And something pulled me and said, do not give up. So I called again about 15 minutes later, and Leslie answered. And from that answer, I discovered things that I didn't even know were realistically possible, or even in this realm possible, potentially possible, anything. And when I talked to Leslie, I said, I'm scared, I'm worried, I don't understand, I'm confused, and bam, all my answers were in front of me. Everything I needed came to light, and it woke me. And from that journey, Leslie and I talked about who's coming forward, what's coming forward, why I'm manifesting thoughts, why I'm thinking this way, how can I do to solve these problems. And literally a phone call that could have been a half an hour turned into 3 hours. And then it rolled into the next day for hours, the next day for hours, the next day for hours. And then I said, what are we gonna do about this? And Leslie said, why don't you come out? 2 strangers to each other, never met, don't know anything about each other except through a phone call. And I went online, booked a ticket, asked my boss for the time that I didn't have off. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to work while I'm there. And then everything fell into place. Work settled itself, life settled itself, ticket was booked, the packing began, and everything happened to fall right into place there. And the moment Leslie and I met each other, the moment we connected, it was like a reunion of friends, as if we had known each other our entire lives. It felt as if there was not a moment between us that had gone unanswered. It was an immediate connection. Her family welcomed me in, the animals welcomed me in, the garden welcomed me in, we went to the ocean for a full day, and it was just like a history of past best friends. Nothing skipped a beat. And we are here now, doing this for the incredible people out there who are wondering who, what, why, when, and where. And that's exactly my outreach to the people. I want you to know from A to Z on how to rediscover yourself, on how to put your troubles behind you, on how to enlighten the load, bring this heaviness off your shoulders, drop the problems you're going through, imagine yourself in the best place possible, knowing that every problem you have is merely nothing on the scale. You have bigger and better things to achieve in this world. You have greatness to give. You have people to inspire. And you have yourself to look forward to rediscover. You need to be awaken to the light. To anything you think you're going through, don't stress it. It'll get way better. I want to make sure that every individual knows, to each his own. Society is just a tiny thing that we live in, but it's yourself that's the bigger picture. I want you to discover you. I want you to feel that you're at your best regardless of what's happening. I want you to know that you can accomplish all things you put your mind to. So don't think negative and start being positive. Put that stepping stone in front of yourself. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be times you're unsure. It's going to be uneasy. But that's all a thought in your head. If you tell myself I can and I will, you can accomplish anything. I have on my mirror at home, ich kann und ich werde. And in German that means I can and I will. You have to tell yourself that every single day. There is not a task too big or too small for you to handle. And that's what my message is to everybody watching. I need you to know I can and I will. Things happen for a reason, but you can get through it regardless. Stay tuned and watch what we're about to do, the magic that's about to happen. It's going to be the best thing you've ever watched.
Life is a funny journey. We never know really what's going to happen in terms of how things are going to work out. I entered a period of semi-retirement. I figured out how to manifest things on my own. I didn't have to read or coach clients anymore. I was just speaking and attending law school full-time and just enjoying my life, thinking, what could get better than this? Well, that was a really good question. Enter Daniel. And what happened was, on a very busy morning, I was taking care of myself and I kept getting a call. And I ignored the call. And I went to my office, finally sitting down, and the same number came up again on my phone. And I said, okay, whoever's on the other side really wants to talk to me. And I have a friend who gave me an old saying who said, if they call twice, pick it up. It's important. So I answered the phone call, and it was Daniel. And he was scared, he was frightened, he was shaking. You could hear it on the phone. And he said, I'm seeing things, I'm hearing voices. Some medium sent me some messages and they were on point. I don't know what she's saying, but she was right. And I don't know how to make sense of it all. And I remember thinking, I've been through this before. And I've helped many people who are intuitive, who are psychic, who are medium to come out and to use their gifts. But there was something different about Daniel. Something felt stronger. And I started asking him questions to really get to the bottom. Was he really psychic? Was he really a medium? Was this for real? And he was answering all of my questions, and it was dead on. It was dead on. It was dead on. And I told him, laughing, I'm sorry to laugh at this, but I've been through this before. I know exactly what you're going to, and this is what you say. And I started to explain to him different questions that he could ask to these spirits to figure out why they were there, what they needed, how to help them, and to give commands to these spirits to tell them, not right now, go away, and to set healthy boundaries for himself with this amazing gift that he had, but didn't know how to use. And by the end of the conversation, I remember Daniel saying, I feel like I've been instantly healed. All the trouble of my past, my childhood, all these questions, they've all been answered. And I felt, this kid is the real deal. So we kept talking and talking and talking. And it felt in so many ways that I had met the male version of myself. And I said to my husband, I think this guy is the male version of myself. And I have this feeling that we need to invite him over. One of my rentals was empty and I said, this is a good time. Let's bring him over. Let's put him up and let's see what he's all about. And he got his ticket and he was serious. He came. And our family fell in love with him from the moment we met him. And it was clear that we needed to take this journey of just 1 week ago and share it with the world in real time. And I knew that whatever we're going to do and however this comes forward, this is going to be magic. And it's going to change a life. It's going to make someone better. It's going to take someone off the edge. And it's going to give them hope. It's going to give them light, but not the light that we have to share, but the light that's inside of them. And I know from watching Daniel and I talk about these really important issues on the human condition, not political issues or religious philosophy, but just what it's like to be a person. We're all sensitive, we all hear voices, we all see things, but how do we make sense of it all? How do we make it real? How do we take control? How do we give ourselves hope in a world so full of ideas and beliefs and ideologies? How do we find our truth? And we want to bring that to you. And I'm more than excited. I'm elated, and I just can't wait to see what happens, and I can't wait for you to hear it, and I can't wait until we meet you.
I want to turn that trauma, that pain, that anxiety, that depression into something that's going to help me move forward. There was not just one skeleton, there was a whole cemetery in there. It was so many things I had to lay to rest before I could finally say, I'm enlightened.
And I know it's a very big statement to say, but God in you creates you in your image.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever image you project over there to yourself, whatever story you tell about yourself, in the narrative of